Annual consumer inflation edged higher to 3.4% in September from 3.3% in August. The monthly change in the CPI was 0.2%. Annual inflation accelerated across several product categories, most noticeably transport and restaurants and accommodation. On the other hand, food and non-alcoholic beverages, alcoholic beverages and tobacco, and furnishings, household equipment, and routine maintenance recorded lower rates. Let's start with food and non-alcoholic beverages, which presented a mixed bag in September. Meat and maize meal inflation remained elevated, while price decreases were recorded for products such as milk, eggs, and rice. Meat inflation reached 11.7%, the highest annual rate since January 2018, when it was 13.4%. While month-on-month increases for beef products have slowed, prices do remain high. Stewing beef, for example, rose 32.2% year-on-year, but showed no change month-on-month. Other meat categories are also feeling the heat. The annual rates for pork and lamb accelerated notably in September. Chicken inflation is also rising, albeit more gradually. IQF chicken portions climbed to 5% from 4.4% in August, boosted by a 1.1% monthly increase. Dairy products remained in deflationary territory for a fourth consecutive month, with prices on average 1.6% lower than a year ago. Most varieties of milk were cheaper. For example, prices for fresh full cream milk decreased by an annual 2.1%. Egg prices were also lower. For example, the average price of a box of 18 eggs was 62.58 Rand in September this year, down from 69.36 Rand in September last year. By contrast, cheese inflation was higher, with Gouda at 6.4% and cheddar 6.3% more expensive than a year ago. The annual rate for cereal products crept up to 1.6% from 1.5% in August. White rice prices continued to fall, with the index 7.8% lower than a year ago. On the other end of the scale, maize meal inflation accelerated to 9.5% from 8.2% in August. Inflation for non-alcoholic beverages eased to 4.1% from 4.9% in August. Back in September 2024, the rate was 9.5%. Inflation for hot beverages cooled slightly to 9% from 10%, much lower than the 15.8% recorded a year ago. Products in the non-alcoholic beverages category that experienced the highest price increases include coffee at 12.2%, fizzy drinks in a can up by 7.8%, and black tea up 7.1%. However, fizzy drinks in a bottle declined by 1.3%. The September CPI release contains the results of the most recent quarterly survey of housing rentals. The results of this survey importantly comprise 15.5% of the total CPI weight. Actual rentals increased by an annual 3.2%, up from 3% in June. Townhouse rentals registered a large annual rise of 5.4% from 4.1% in the previous quarter. Imputed rentals accelerated to 3% from 2.5%. The transport category recorded its 13th month of deflation, with the annual rate at negative 0.1% in September. Motor vehicles are 1.4% more expensive than a year ago. Passenger transport is 1.9% cheaper. Fuel prices declined by 0.3% between August and September, pulling the annual rate down to a negative 2.2%. That wraps up our overview of the September 2025 inflation figures. If you found this breakdown helpful, please visit our website at www.statssa.gov.za for more information on the CPI and other data.